Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on online wills. I am Jessica Furbank, the Customer Success Manager here at Arken, and I'll be taking you through this webinar and demonstration today. Please bear in mind, as we are all working from home, if there is any strange background noises like dogs barking, please do bear with me. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the agenda of our webinar today. We're going to go through the background of our online wills system. We'll go through the features and benefits, how you can market and promote it, the various client communications that are sent out through the system. We'll then do a full demonstration of our online wills system, and then we'll go through what the cost of it is and how you then go to set it up. So firstly, the background. So our online wills system was launched in 2009, and so you can see we are pioneers of this time. And because it's been around for so long, it is a tried and tested solution. We have recently done an update just this month, so it has a new look and feel. We've now made it mobile friendly. There's great customization, so you can really customize it to your brand. It has a more modern design and it's a lot more user friendly. It uses the same intuitive, intelligent drafting engine that more than 1,500 professional users use to draft highly complex documents in Arken Professional. As you can imagine, through the years, thousands of wills have gone through the online will system, but as it also uses the same precedent bank and technology of Arken Professional, it has therefore had actually millions of wills go through it. There's automatic creation and generation of a will pack. And this comprises of the will document, will commentary, and signing instructions. It's not just a paper document at the end, but rather a comprehensive package that explains everything to your client in plain English. So great for your risk management strategy. It's fully secure, hosted in the UK by a leading third-party provider. We at Arken take security very, very seriously, and we invest heavily in it. We use Amazon Web Service, and our client data is always in the uppermost part of our minds. If you've recently read the IRN report into industry, it shows significant increase in the use of online wills and new entrants into the marketplace. We have seen between 40 and 50 new players within the market, and there are a lot that come and there are a lot that go. The churn is also quite high though. They tend to be very simple wills with very little room to expand, and they aren't using professional intuitive engines like ours. They tend to be more word templates, and so they don't therefore have the options for professionalism like our solution. It's a good solution to have in place, especially now. And if you are used to having, if someone is used to having you as their advisor, they're more likely to trust your online wills than anyone else's. If they're used to using you, then they'll trust what you have to offer. It's very easy for a client to Google online wills and see a lot of providers, but there's no way of them seeing their quality. So if you are saying that this online will service is okay, then they're more likely to trust it. So now we'll go through the features and benefits. So we are very feature rich. You and your clients will experience a secure login and password control. The client is also guided throughout the whole process with input validation and tool tips. There's different service options that you can offer to your client. There's the Premier service, which is where they'll input their information. They'll then go through and choose the Premier service. They'll make payment, and that will is automatically available for them to download. There's then the Superior service, where they'll input their information, choose the Superior package, make payment. You'll then get notification that a will has been submitted. You'll then just need to check the drafted will and that it matches the answers that the client has selected. And once you've marked it as complete, the client will then receive notification that the will is available to download. And then the last service offer is Superior Plus. So this is when the client submits their information, they choose the Superior Plus package, they then make payment, you receive notification that a will has been submitted, you'll then check it. Once you're happy with it, you'll then download it, print it, bind it, and post it to the client. So different ranges of service options available. The system also automatically generates emails to clients throughout the process. And you also have the option of offering mirror wills to your clients through the process as well. The online will service is compatible across multiple browsers, and it is also customizable to your brand. 70% of wills are simple wills, which can be done through our solution. They are simple, but nevertheless comprehensive in what is offered through the system. You'll find that 30% of wills will be more complex, and that is when we can link to our other product, Arken.legal, which is a digital fact find to capture that base information of the client for the more complex wills. Once that base information is captured, this flows seamlessly into your Arken professional for the drafter to then draft the document. It's also a nice lead generator for the more expensive wills where you'd want that direct customer relationship. Looking at the benefits of our online will service. It's a standalone product, so you don't need your own website if you're a small operator, but you can also easily link from a website if you do have one. It's also a nice way of increasing income with minimum output, especially if you are busy at this time. So we have nearly 100 people on this webinar today, so you can see we've experienced a lot of high demand for this product at the moment. The setup of online wills is quick and easy. Once you've provisioned your site, we will then get it up and running for you, and it's really quick and easy to do that. When a situation is more complex, you have the option of offering Acquire to capture their client's information to then go on and contact them and draft their will. There's also flexibility to offer what you want to offer. With those different service levels, you set the parameters of your offer, and Arken solutions give you that flexibility. We have now made it mobile friendly, so when you're looking at the more millennial marketplace, they can quite easily complete it all on a mobile phone, which, as we know, is their device of choice. You also have the comfort that whoever comes onto your online wills will get a consistent experience with your brand through the customizations offered, as well as with the documents produced, and therefore enhancing your reputation in the market. It can also round off your offer for all segments of the marketplace. So whether your current business model may be around elderly clients who might not want to do wills online, you can start to expand your reach to those Gen X millennials who are more comfortable and can become long-term customers as they go through their life. So how does it work? So it can work in a variety of different ways. We have those 70% of simple yet comprehensive wills that can be done through the online wills process, and then they'll either choose the package of just downloading it straight away or it going through to you to be checked. Those more complex situations which make up the 30% can then be directed to your Arken Acquire product for them to complete their base information, and then this can go through to the drafter and Arken Professional, or if you're not comfortable with complex will scenarios, you can then pass it on to a service provider to pick up the drafting. The success of an online will service, however, is how well you market it. You can't just expect to put the link to an online will service on your website and it will magically bring customers there. You need to think about your target market. Who are you going after? What mix of communication tools are you going to use in order to maximize your return? And what are your key messages going to be? So for example, if you wanted to target non-married millennials who have children, then you may want to think about Facebook or social media to promote the product. If it is couples getting married, then think of the sites or the things they'll be looking at to promote your services. And then sadly at the moment, you may wish to target NHS workers, for example. You can engage with the hospitals or where they're working, but obviously doing this in a sensitive, supportive way. We will be running another webinar about marketing in this time of COVID, so please be on the lookout for that and book on there if you would like further ideas on marketing during this time. So as we mentioned, you get automated generated emails that will be going to the clients throughout the process. So the first one shows you the process and the communications that are sent if the client has chosen for the will not to be checked. Once they register, they'll receive an email thanking them for doing so. Once they have submitted their information, they'll select the package, which in this case will be Premier, which is no check-in. They'll then make the payment and mark the will as complete. They'll then receive an email automatically to say the documents are ready to be downloaded. You'll also receive an email just to let you know that the client has done so, and the document is then available to download. The next slide shows you if the client has chosen the Superior or Superior Plus service, which is the check-in. So again, the client would register, they'll receive a thank you email for doing so. They'll submit their information, select the package and make payment. They'll receive an email just to confirming that the information is being processed, and you'll receive an email to let you know that someone has submitted their information. Once you have marked the will as complete, or in any instance, you might have to print it and bind it. Once you've done that, an email will be sent to the client to let them know the documents are ready, and they'll be able to log in and download those documents, or if you are posting it, receive it in the post. So now we're going to head to the demonstration of the online will system. So I'm just going to head out of here and open up here. So I'm just going to log in. So first of all, I'm going to show you the back office of the online will system. So how it will look when you are setting up. Okay, so this is the back office of the online will system, so what you will be seeing. So first of all, when you register to set up your online wills profile, you'll need to fill in your, you'll need to provision it. So add in the customizations, the font, all your company details. So you'll make your way through the different tabs on the left-hand side to do your setup. The first tab here is practice and business details. So all the details on your business, your address, telephone number, the main contact, etc. The next tab you'll need to go through is the look and feel. So this is customizing it to your brand. So here you can choose the font size. You can also choose colors for specific buttons throughout the process for your client, what you would like the title of the service to be. And then you can also upload your logo. So as you can see, we've uploaded the Arken logo here, so you can upload your own and it'll be seen in the top right hand corner when your client registers to complete their online wills service. The next part is a PayPal setup. So you do need a PayPal account in order to offer the online will service, and this is how the client will then make payment. This can be a little bit tricky to set up, so if you do have any problems, our support team is also very happy to help you through this process. The next is deciding what service options you are going to offer. So the first question here is, do you want to offer online wills, yes or no? And then here you have the different service levels that you can then choose to include in your package. You can then also, once you've chosen which you're going to include, you will then state the price of the single will, and then if you are offering the mirror wills, the price of the mirror will. Just a reminder of the different packages available. So you have the Premier. So that is when the client goes on, they register, they complete the questionnaire, they then select the Premier package and they make payment for that, and the will is downloaded immediately for them. So there's no check-in from your side at all. You then have the Superior package where the client will register, they'll complete the questionnaire, they'll select the Superior package and make payment for that. You'll then receive notification that they have submitted their will, you'll then check it. Once you've marked it as complete, they'll then get an email to notify them that their document is available to download. And then lastly is the Superior Plus, which is when the client registers, they complete the questionnaire, they select the Superior Plus package, they make payment for that package, you receive notification that it's been submitted, you check it. Once you've marked it as complete, you'll then print it, bind it and post it to them. So you can decide which you want to offer, either all of them or selected few to offer to your clients. Then we have the client communications, which are those automatically generated emails. So here you can decide how you want the closing email to read, who it's going to be coming from, and you also have other communications within the online will service that you can customize as well. So you will see this question being asked to your client a few times throughout the online wills process. And it's just asking whether the online wills service is right service for them, because they might fall into that 30% that is more complex and this won't be suitable for them to complete. So we have given you some statements that will be asked if you wish to include them, so you can decide if you want to include these statements. So if they were to mark no to any of these, the interview would be aborted and would ask them to contact you directly. If there's certain situations where you wouldn't want them to complete the online will service as well, you can add in those questions here as a custom question, and that'll then be included in this list of questions when they are asked whether the service is right for them. And then you have the ability to upload your own custom terms and conditions. If you are adding your own custom questions, then you will need to add in your own terms and conditions. Otherwise, if you're just using the default options there, you can just refer to our default terms and conditions. Next, we have Arken Acquire. So as I mentioned, Arken Acquire is a separate product to online wills. It is a digital fact find that links into Arken Professional. So it asks your clients base information that then flows seamlessly into Arken Professional. So if you do have that product alongside your Arken Professional, you can then have the link here. So if they find that the service of online wills is not right for them, they can then click the link to the Acquire and submit their base information that way for you to then contact them to go through that complex situation. And lastly, once you have completed this, we will then provision your site and you'll be ready to go. And this is the URL that you will then use for your client to click on to then start the online wills process. So I'm now going to pretend that I am a client and I've clicked on the link to start the online wills service. So this is what it'll look like. It will obviously be customized to whatever you have put in your setup. So your logo in the top right-hand corner and the color of your buttons, whatever you have chosen. So as you can see, the questions are first asked here if the service is right for them. As you can see, if you have answered yes to any of these questions, then we believe you would benefit from professional advice, so meaning that they fall in that 30% more complex situation. And then they have the link that will take them to Acquire. I'll show you that at the end for anyone that wants to stay around to see how that works. But now I'm going to say, yes, the service is right for me, so I'm going to create an online will. So firstly, they need to register. So I'm going to register. They need to put in a password. So this just allows them to log back at any time to either download their documents or see where their will is in terms of the processing. Create account. Once they've clicked create account, if you remember, they receive an automatic email to thank them for registering. And now they can go to start the online will interview. So you can see this is the questionnaire now for them to fill out. It's made up of different tabs and it shows them with these red asterisks that there are mandatory fields they have to go through, and they'll show them where those mandatory fields are throughout the questionnaire as well. So if I start filling this in, and I am female, you'll notice that if you select female as the gender, you'll only get female titles to choose from. I'm going to say I'm married, and then they need to fill in their address. And a telephone number. If they click next, it takes them onto the next tab, which is just confirming their capacity and that they can actually make a will. If they say no here, it then aborts the interview. They cannot go any further, and it tells them to rather contact you directly. Once they've marked yes, they can then move on to the next tab, which is children. So here they have the ability to add in children's details. So it can be children of both the husband and wife, or the wife alone, or the husband alone. So it offers you the different parentages there. So if I click to add a child, and they can either free type the date in, or they can use the drop down to select a date there. Then asks if they're financially dependent and the status of the child as well. Once we click OK, Frank has now been loaded under the child of both of us. Next, we can appoint guardians if we want to. So as you can see, because it's an intuitive system, the simplest answer has been ticked here. But as we change the answer, then more options do become available to us. So here it says, how many children are cared for under this arrangement? We can say 1. It may be that your family might increase. Do you want to refer to all children? So that might include future children, or rather by name. We then can add in the guardian here. So if I say, and she is female, and Sally is my sister. And you also have the option to then add in the address details as well. If you want to, you can add in directions to the guardians concerning education, religious upbringing, etc. as well. And there's also the ability for your client to add in substitute guardians as well. So as we mentioned, it is a simple will that is created, but it does allow for, it's very comprehensive. Next, we have executors. So here we have the ability, so once you are set up, it will be your firm or your will writing practice available to select as an executor. So it gives them a lot of options here. If I was to say I'm going to appoint my husband and one other person as an executor, it already adds my husband there automatically. I can then go on to add in that other executor and say I'd like to add Sally, my sister. As I start typing her name, as I start typing her name, you can see it picks it up there that I can click on, and I'll populate that information, and it remembers the relationship as well. So now I've appointed 2 executors there, and I have the ability of appointing substitute executors if I wanted to. Next, we have funeral wishes. So here, do you wish to record any wishes in respect of your funeral or use of your body? So again, it can just be a simple no, but as you tick yes, more options become available to the client to add in further directions. You'll also notice throughout the questionnaire, there's always this learn more about the section that the client can click on, and it does give them a little bit of guidance regarding that section. They can also click on further help, and this goes through the whole will and all the areas that are covered. So they can read more, and it really guides them on those different areas and what they should be answering as they go through. So it's really advising them the whole way and guiding them throughout the whole process. So here with funeral directions, we have the options of donating body parts. So we can say yes. They can make exceptions if they want to. They can state whether they want to be buried or cremated, where they want the ashes scattered, is there a specific manner they want that done, do they want it buried? So a lot of options available here to the client. They can also make in memoriam gifts, so we can say yes to that. And now we can add in a charity here. So we just click add, and now we have a charity category drop down. So here they can look at what category of charity they're looking for. So you can look for medical research, overseas aid, animals and birds. They'll then select that category, and once they've selected that, they get a further drop down of all animals and birds charities that are available to select within the online will service. Once they've selected the one they want, it populates that charity's information in for them, and that has now been added under their funeral directions. Next, we have leaving your assets. So essentially the first level of distribution. Again, it does guide them with different notes and different information here. They have the option here to either leave the estate to their husband subject to him surviving you, to make gifts before then leaving the estate to the husband, or if the estate wasn't going to the husband at all, neither of the above, and then laying out what the options were. If I was to leave the estate to the husband, but leaving some gifts before, you can see then they have the option of leaving money gifts as well as gifts of specific property. So here I'm going to add in a money gift. They can free type the amount that they wish, or otherwise use the drop down to find the amount they're looking for. They then say, is this gift to be received solely by an individual charity in equal shares, or by each person? So if I just say by one person, and again, I can pop in Sally, and there she is, then remembers her. You also have the option to impose an age restriction, and you can extend the gift to children and their descendants, so essentially that per stirpe is there. And then the last option here is adding in substitute provisions. So as you can see, although it's a simple will, it's a very comprehensive will. We also have the ability to gift of specific possessions, so I'm going to say yes here, and now they can free type the description of that gift. So I'm going to say all my household furniture. And again, who is this going to go to? If you wanted in equal shares, you can either name the individuals or they can name a group. So here we give a drop down of the different groups available, so they can then choose from here. So I can say my grandchildren, and again they can impose age restriction, that it can extend that gift to the children and then descendants, and they can also do substitute beneficiaries there. So now that we've completed the first level of distribution or leaving of your assets one, you can see as we selected the residue will go to the husband, so that's done automatically for them. They then have the option of doing a second level of leaving your assets. So again, this explains to them what this means, and they can go on and either make gifts before distributing that residue or just distributing that residue if they wanted. Then we have the relationship check. So this is listing everyone mentioned within the will and checking that the relationship is correct. So they can quickly and easily make changes here if, for instance, the relationship had pulled through incorrectly. And then they go through to the next step. And this is just asking them that they are happy that all of the information is correct. And once they've ticked that, it will take them through to select their package and pay. So as you can see, the first question here is, do you require a will for you, or would you like the mirror wills done? So that is where they can select the mirror wills, and then they'll select the package, and it tells you exactly what is offered within the package they are selecting. So if I say the superior, which means that it's then going to go through to you to be checked, they then get asked those questions in terms of the terms and conditions, that they haven't been under any undue influence, and that they are answering the questions themselves. And then again, you have the is the service right for you questions, where remember you can bring in your own custom question if you want to. If they say no here, it again aborts the whole interview. They cannot go any further, and they are referred to contact you directly rather. But if they say yes, they can then submit the information, and now that's been submitted successfully. And now they can log in at any time to view the status of their will. But if I go back to your back office, you will now have received notification that a will has been submitted for check-in, and you will go to your wills processing center. So this just shows you all the outstanding clients. You have different filters available to go through. So outstanding, due, overdue, completed. So you can see there is my will that I've just completed, and I can click progress to go into the specific will. You can see that the will has been completed. The payment has also been completed. We can go and review the will by clicking on progress here. It then takes you through exactly what the client has submitted, so you can have a look through everything that they've chosen. And on the document details, you can actually open up the will document and have a read through it. So here we have the will. We'll just give that a moment to load. As you can see, it's exactly the same kind of standard and layout as an Arken will, so very high quality and what you're used to. So you can check that everything is correct. If there is something that might not be right, you might want to contact the client. But otherwise, if you are happy with it, you can then confirm the will is complete. So once you click that, you do get the option of emailing a draft. Either you can email it to yourself, or you can email it directly to the clients to check. But if not, if you're happy to just proceed, you can mark the will as complete by clicking OK. And that will now generate an automatic email to the client to let them know that their will has been marked as complete and it is now available for them to download. And if we go back to the will processing center, you can see that will has now been moved out of the outstanding list, and it will now be in the completed list. So that's essentially how the online will service works. If I just show you the Arken acquire, so I'm just going to close this and open again. So I'm going to click as if I am a client again, and I want to start the online wills process. So it takes me to this front page again, asking me, is the service right for you? And I think, oh no, the service actually isn't right for me. So now it says here, please click the link below to be taken to our brief online questionnaire, and we'll contact you to discuss alternative options. So they have the ability to click on that, and now this takes you to Arken Acquire. So I don't want to confuse anyone. Arken Acquire is a separate product from Online Wills. So Online Wills stands alone as one product, but you can link to the Arken Acquire if, for instance, the Online Wills service wasn't right for them. And the Arken Acquire is a digital fact find that then allows them to fill out their base information to be sent through to you for you to then contact them to then go through that complex situation. So Arken Acquire is a digital fact find. This can be completely customized to your brand. So you can change the colors, you can add in your logo, and it will be your business details at the bottom here. There is also text throughout Arken Acquire that you can edit. For instance, this welcome text is completely editable, so you can write whatever you want to write here to welcome your client. So now they'll start completing the digital fact find. So I'm going to start someone new. And we'll just fill it out. It's very clear and simple how you fill this out. And then they need to confirm the terms and conditions. Then they'll click Get Started. When they click Get Started, they'll receive an email just thanking them for registering, and their Arken profile will start to be developed. Now it's divided up into the different questions that they need to go through. Again, this will be customized to your brand depending on the colors you've chosen. So the first area is my details. So here they'll go through different questions. Again, some are marked as mandatory that they have to fill out. So in terms of the date of birth, they can then fill in a phone number, a mobile number, that email address has pulled through for you. If, however, they do pick a preferred contact method as phone, but they haven't completed that area, it then does become a mandatory field. The last area is the primary residence, so his address. And as you can see, it says enter postcode. So they can enter a postcode and it'll bring up the addresses linked to that postcode and will populate in for them. Then very clearly, it shows them to click on the arrow to go to the next section, which is my family. So here they can add in their partner's details and their children's details, and they can also state whether they care for any pets. So if I add in a partner, we can say, and she is female, and add in her date of birth. And add it in easily. And you can see it's very clear on how they can edit whatever they have added in as well. They can add in a child. And they can also state the parentage of that child as well. And again, they can edit that and they can keep on adding children as they need. And then lastly, do they care for any pets? I'm going to say yes to that so you can see how I can pull through into Arken Professional. The next area is my assets and liabilities. So here they'll fill in details of their property, their assets and liabilities, and they can also state whether they own or have shares in businesses or overseas property. So the first one, we can add in the property. We can quickly link to the residential address. So I can click that and it populates in for me. It then asks, what is the ownership of this property? So if I say tenants in common, for instance, we can then pop in the percentages. It asks for the value and how much is owing, so that can be added in, and they can keep adding properties depending on what they own. They can add in assets, and it's really nice. It does provide them with asset types, so they know exactly what to think of while they're filling this out. So we can say a motor vehicle, we can add in the ownership, we can add in another asset, so let's say jewelry, and we can say my partner owns. And you can see it lays it out fully, as well as divides it up into the different ownerships, so very clear for the client. We can also add in liabilities. Again, it does give you liability types, so they know what to think of while they're completing this. So we can say motor vehicle again, and we can add in. And again, it lays it out really nice and clearly. And then, like I mentioned, the last question is, do you own or have shares in any of the following, which is businesses? So I'm going to say yes to that, and overseas property, and I'll say yes to that. And now we can go through to submit this information. Again, this text here is editable, so if you want to ask any further questions, you can do so here, but they can also free type any other information they wish to give you. So and they're going to click submit. Once they click submit, they get taken through to this next page, and this is all completely editable for you. So what we've added in here is what will happen now, what they need to think about, what they need to bring to the appointment, but you can completely edit this text as well. Now that they've submitted that information, we can then, they'll receive an email thanking them for doing so, and you will receive an email to your email address to let you know that someone has submitted an Arken Acquire. You can then go to your Arken Professional. So I'm just going to log in here. Oops, sorry, pressed the wrong button there. So I'm going to log in, and now I can search for that client's name. And there he is, Graham Jones. And all the information that we've inputted has pulled through. So there's his wife, Jenna. And you have this new document called Acquire document. So if you open that up, that gives you a full document on exactly what information he has submitted. So in terms of children's details, assets and liabilities. So when you go to give him a call, you then have this information to hand. You can also download this document if you want, and that then you can then print it off or file it to your CRM if you want to. Then once you've done that, if you now want to draft the document relating to the information he has then submitted, so I'm going to click to add a new document. I'm going to select the will from the drop-down selection. I'm going to give it a matter reference, so whatever document reference you want to give your client. Confirm capacity and click confirm. So now it will open up onto a blank will. So no questions have been answered. The same mandatory fields outstanding, but now you will see on this front page, you have the acquire that has been submitted, and you have the ability to import it. So it's just asking, are you happy to populate his interview with the acquire? We say yes, and now that has been done successfully. Now, depending on what information he has submitted, different areas will now pop up as mandatory that will show you that something has been added there. Because he said yes to overseas property and business interests, the relevant ticks have been made within important matters. His asset details, so in terms of his properties, assets and liabilities that he inputted, have all pulled through into the asset details there. And remember, this is a separate report that you can download. In terms of executorship, you have the wife already there, as always, available to select as an executor, and you can see that pulls through easily into the document. And if you were to click to add a further executor, and we said we want to appoint a person, from the drop-down, you'll see Frank, the son, is now available to select, so you're not having to key his information. And there the will has updated there. Frank's details have also pulled through into the children's details and under the correct parentage there. Because he said yes to provision for pets, that has also been ticked yes, as he may want to leave in special instructions for those pets. And then if you remember, he did free type some extra information, so that can be found in this document details on the front page here. I'm adding in extra info, so that pulls through for the drafter to then see. So that is essentially how Arken Acquire works. So if the online wills service wasn't correct for your client, they still have the ability to submit information to you for you to then contact them. So if we head back here, and I'm just going to go through this quickly. So how do you sign up? It's very quick and easy. You can go to the Arken.legal website, and you'll see a little option saying more, and there's a drop down and you can select online wills. And there you have the option, there's a little button saying register. And you will then go through the whole area of setting up your profile in terms of customizing it, what service you would like to offer, etc. We will then be notified once you have completed that, and we will then provision you and let you know, and you can then be all set up to go. Just bearing in mind, there is huge demand for this online will service, so we do hope that we would get this up and running for you in a week's time. Please just give us a call on 01732 867 792 if you do have any questions. You can also email us at info@arken.legal, and we're happy to help you with any questions or any setup that you need to do. And then we do have other webinars. So the next few webinars we have are online wills. So why offer them to your clients, and why offer them particularly through COVID-19. So this is on Wednesday the 15th, at 10 a.m. So next week. We then have, like I mentioned, marketing through COVID-19 outbreak, and that's on Tuesday the 21st of April at 10 a.m. As we know, we really need to be sensitive when it comes to marketing during this time. So we really would like to help you, guide you through that marketing of your business. We then have business continuity during COVID-19, and this is part 2 of the series. We've already had one. If you'd like to see a recording of that, please do let me know and we can send you a recording. And that's on Thursday, the 23rd of April at 10 a.m. And then we are also showing you our trust referencer product, which is also a separate product. Because a lot of people are working from home, you don't have all your books at hand when you need to look at the tax implications of trusts within wills for your clients. So Trust Referencer allows you to input the trust that has been input in your client's will, answer questions relating to your client and that trust, and it automatically generates a report of all the tax implications at the time relating to that trust. And if you would, like I said, if you would like to watch our first business continuity during COVID-19, then just email us and we can send you through the link. And let us know what else we can do for you and how else we can help you through COVID-19. We do really want to be a partner with you, our clients. So please just contact us again and let us know if there's anything we can do or anything else you would like to see on a webinar to help you during this time. I don't think we went through costs. I think I might have skipped that, sorry. So costs, so we are trying to help our clients during the time of COVID-19. So we are currently offering our online will system at a 50% discount until July. So it's currently £100 plus VAT monthly subscription. This £100 includes 7 documents that can be completed by your clients, and any documents done over and above those 7 are then charged at £7 plus VAT per document. The document is charged when the client submits the will. And then at July, it will then revert back to the standard price of £200 plus VAT, and then the same per document charge. There's also a no 12-month subscription for April, May, and June. So usually it's a rolling 12-month subscription, but we are allowing for a rolling month-by-month subscription just to help you through COVID-19 and getting those wills out to your clients. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar today. If you do have any questions or if you'd like to see something more, please do contact us at info@arken.legal or give us a call on 01732 867 792. I look forward to seeing you all at future webinars, and keep well and keep healthy, everyone. Bye.